My name is Asia Sampson, and today on Baptism Overland, let's talk knives. Whoosh. I shouldn't have done that. Once in a while, I like to do these EDC type videos. I am really intrigued and very interested in the world of EDC. I'm sure you know, but just for clarity, EDC is an everyday carry, not, electronic dance carnival. Now, by no means am I an EDC expert. Like, the world of EDC is just massive, and there are a ton of channels that you can go to learn about that type of thing. But once in a while, a company will send me something where the EDC is related to camping, overlanding, adventure, outdoor type stuff. And that is what we have here today. And today we're talking about Odenwolf. They're a German-based company that produces budget-friendly but strong and durable bushcrafting knives. In fact, if you go to their website, they only have like 4 offerings on there, which sometimes I like. I like seeing when I go to a website and that's all they offer, because it says that they're really focused on just making a really good product and not offering you a bunch of other stuff where the quality may not be so good. In fact, some of the gear that I've reviewed on this channel came from companies that only had a couple of offerings, and it turned out to be some of the best gear that I've had. Case in point, Zero Breeze AC unit. So I'm hoping that this company lives up to that. A company that only has a couple of offerings, but the offerings they do have are durable, will last you for a long time, and is great on the wallet. All right, so let's unbox this business. All right, so first up is the packaging. Now, I know that packaging has nothing to do with how well a product is going to perform, right? But when it comes to EDC, there's just something special about EDC items coming in nice packaging. Most times when we're buying everyday carry items, we're buying it because it means something to us, or something we're gonna carry around every day, or something we might wanna pass down or gift to somebody. And when it comes in something that's nicer, then it just makes it feel a little bit more special, a little bit more premium. Some of the higher end knives that I've bought always came in really nice packaging, and it just adds that extra touch. Now, when it comes to these guys, I like their packaging a lot. Super simple, plain black, white logo on the front, very Apple-ish. And inside, the box in here is made out of a satin cardstock with a silver embossed logo in the front. As a guy who worked in packaging design and was an art director for an advertising firm for many years, I get geeked out about stuff like this. I really, really do. Okay, so opening it up, there's your knife, and I really like the fact that they added this little envelope in here, you guys. Like, I know, again, has nothing to do with how well a knife is gonna perform, but just you open it up and there's this bright envelope, and inside you have these cards. And there's nothing really special about these cards. It's just like, take part in the photo contest, knife care tips, how do you like your new product, and submit like a review, and then be part of the Wolf Pack. Has all their Instagram information on there, and you can tag them and all that. Like, any other company could have just taken these cards and just kind of thrown it in there for you to look at. But the fact that they put it in a little envelope, and not only that, the envelope has their logo on it, just costs money to make. So they spent the extra money to create something special like this. Again, has nothing to do with how well this thing's gonna perform, but just an added touch that I like. And then you have the knife itself. By the way, it does not come with a lanyard and bead. I added it. I wanted to put like a brown leather lanyard with a brass bead. It just looks really nice with the all black knife. Well, almost all black. But I think they have 4 knives on their website. I believe the Outdoors, then they have the W1, the W2, and the W3. This is the W1. That's what was said to me. And it comes in the Kydex sheath. And I believe the differences between the different models they have, the W1, W2, and W3, is just the Kydex sheath that it comes in. I have Kydex sheath that have like the holes in it. You can customize it. Those are great. But sometimes I also like just the plain ones like this. It just has a clip. There's nothing else. Like, you're not adding a ferro rod to it. You're not doing all this other stuff. You just want to carry a knife without it looking like a huge, like, packaged thing on the side of your belt. Sometimes just having it like this and simple like this makes it a little bit easier to carry around. It's really tight, by the way, so it's not going anywhere. I have tried to, matter of fact, like you can't, until you actually put your finger on here and kind of push it out, even then there's a toughness to it. All right, the knife itself, and this is what I mean by it was almost perfect. This is what they sent me, and yeah, beggars can't be choosers, right? But you have different options on their website so you can get the colorways that you want. There's different colors, different colored blades, different colored handles. You can choose whichever fits your needs. I wish they would have sent me the all black knife. That would have been really nice, just a blacked out knife, which is something I don't have yet. But this one is a polished blade with a black handle. The handle is nice. It feels really grippy, feels really nice. I like that these have these grips on it because especially if you're getting sweaty or it gets wet, you don't want a knife that's slipping out on you, and I feel like this will hold really nicely. It's a hollow grind. It is a drop point, but I feel like it's almost like a, I don't know, like a modified drop point. It is a drop point, but because you have this little area here that kind of dips down, it almost feels very Bowie. And I know it's not, because a Bowie, like that's a Bowie. And you get like jimping right here. You have these grips right here, so you put your finger in so you can kind of make sure when you're cutting you can do that. But you also have this area right here to put your finger on if you want closer work. So if you're doing a little bit more detailed work, you can kind of put your finger on there and kind of get more detailed with your cut. It is full tang. This is a full tang knife, so you're getting a blade going all the way into the handle. So you're not just having like a little part right here that sticks into the handle, which can come out. And then at the back, you have a little loop that can be used for a bunch of different things, for striking and all that good stuff. But it does give you a loop so you can add a lanyard or do whatever it is you want to do on that side. Now comparing this to the other bushcrafting knives that I have, so this is the Odenwolf W1, and then over here I have the Scorpion from Defense Supply. This was sent to me for review a while ago, did a video on it, so if you want to go and check that out. This is a Bowie style blade with a karambit style of handle, has a finger loop at the end. Not really my style, but good to have in my collection. That's something different. But if this is your jam, this is the kind of thing you're looking for, then go check out that video as well. This one also has a polished handle, as does this. Whoever's sending me another knife, I really want something with black blades. Speaking of, this is the very first bushcrafting knife I ever owned. See, black blade. I liked it even back then. But this one's made by Gerber. A lot of people know Gerber. A lot of people know this knife. It's a very common knife. You can buy this one anywhere. In fact, I bought this one at Walmart, and I bought this before I even knew anything about knives, before I even knew about overlanding. This has treated me well in those first few years though, and I'm not gonna get rid of it because this is one of those just kind of, I'll put this like in my go bag or something, like as a backup, or just one of those beat up knives. So if it breaks, whatever, it gets destroyed, not a big deal. But this does have some sort of sentimental value because it was the first one that I ever owned. But when I finally was done with Gerber, when I felt like I needed to upgrade, that's when I upgraded to the SE3, and this has been my favorite. There's different SEs, right? SE3, SE5, SE6. I like this one a lot. Black blade, nice logo on the front, nice branding on the blade, and then micarta scales, which something about micarta, I became a fan. At first I didn't think I would like them, but now like the way it patinas, it has that feel. Like this is one of those knives that I know I'm probably gonna pass down to my son at some point. And why I like this one, why I kind of choose to carry this one, because if you look, it's the shortest out of all of them. Just this one is just a little bit more compact, and that's kind of why I went with the SE3 too, because I wanted something that's smaller. And yet this thing is tough, man. It'll cut through firewood, and in the same breath cut through like meats and cut through fruits. And so I'm able to use this as all utility. The only downside about getting an SE3 or SE5, it's made of 1095 steel, and you have to really take care of it or it'll start to rust. Otherwise, again, this is a really capable knife. Out of all of them, if I had to rank this, the SE3 would probably be the one that I would carry, followed by the Odenwolf W1. The simplicity of it, the style and shape of it. I really also like this handle. Nice, soft, grippy handle. So I would probably take this as my number 2. And then I would probably bring the trusty Gerber just because, you know, it's a good knife. I've, again, had it for a while. It's just a little bit more chunkier than the rest. The handle's not as ergonomic though as like this. Feels really nice because it's so thin, like right here, that it feels really good on the hand. And this one's not as thin, but it's rounded, so it forms to the hand nicely. And then this is kind of, it's flat. There's not a lot of grip on this either, so I know that if I get sweaty, this might just slip out. And then I would end with this, but although this one does have really, really nice handles, like this one is very grippy. And then you have a, you know, a finger loop there as well to give you extra stability. But this is probably the order in which I like these knives. But going back to this, let's talk some specs. Now on their website, by the way, website right here, odenwolf.us, or you can go to odenwolf-outdoors.com. Both will lead you to this site. They only have the 4 products. The first one is not the outdoor knife like I mentioned earlier. Well, it kind of is. It's the Hunter outdoor knife, and that comes in at $14.90. That's pretty cheap. And then stepping that up from there, you have the W1, the W2, and the W3, and it looks like it's all pretty much the same. Yeah, if I could be wrong, but it looks like pretty much the same knife. It's just you get different sheathing options. So the one they sent me was the W1, and you get the knife, and then you get the Kydex sheath that's really minimal. So it's just a sheath with a clip on it already attached. You can't take the clip out, and that is that. And then you can step that up to the W2, which has a different kind of sheath, but it doesn't have this clip, and it has a clip plate, like the kind that you can press the button and it's a belt clip, but you can attach accessories to it or attach it to different kind of sheaths. So that's what that is, and that comes in at $29.90. And then you have the W3 if you want to step it up even more, which is basically the W2, where you get the sheath, the belt clip plate, and then you get a strap, and then you get a ferro rod attached to that sheath. So if you want like the full package, then you can go to the W3 for $44.90. Now, as far as the W1 knife itself, so on their site, they have the blade measured out at 4.5 inches, and then they have the handle measuring at 4.8 inches with a total of 9.4 inches. And this way, it is 1.5 inches wide. For the sheath, it is 6.7 inches total, and then 2 inches this way. And it fits, again, really, really nicely in there. This is made of 440C steel blade, stainless steel. So this is not going to rust on you. You just gotta make sure you keep it sharp, keep it nice. Maybe add some protectant on it just to make sure, but it is stainless steel 440C. Now, as far as the handle, it's made with a molded TPE material, and I don't have any other knives that has this same material, but I like it. Like it's very rubbery and grippy. Your hands could be wet. It could be soaked in fish oil if you're scaling a fish, or it could be soaked in blood, or it could be soaked with water, and you don't want this thing slipping out on you. So I like this a lot. It does grip really nicely. I'm a fan for sure. Now, as far as colors, there's a ton of different colors. So you have the one that is black handle, black sheath, silver blade, and then you have an all black version. So you can get a black sheath, black handle, black blade. I wish they would have sent me that one. And then it looks like, now I don't know if it's just not loading because of my internet or if it's on their website end, but it looks like an OD green version. So you get an OD green handle, OD green sheath, but with a silver blade, and then they have OD green handle, OD green sheath, but with a black blade, and then they have an orange version. So you're gonna get an orange handle, orange sheath, but with a silver blade, and then orange handle, orange sheath, but with a black blade, which actually looks pretty cool also. The Odenwolf W1 knife. Now, I am not gonna put this one through the test like I did with the Scorpion knife review. When Scorpion sent me that knife, they were like, beat it up. We wanna know if you're able to bend it. We wanna know if you're able to break the point on it or mess up the edge, and they wanted me to do that. Odenwolf did not ask me to go and try to beat this up, and I kind of don't want to. Like I said, this is probably my second favorite knife out of the small collection that I have, so I kind of don't want to ruin it. Now, if they do send me other knives, I'll maybe beat one of them up and see if we can get it to bend, but I am going to be going on a trip soon anyway, and I'm going to use this knife and we'll be able to test it that way. If it's able to chop the firewood, chop food, I'm sure I won't have any problems doing that. If you do want to see a separate video of me trying to put this through the test, like getting it beat up, leave it in the comments below. But yeah, I kind of want to keep this one as is. Something for you guys to consider, $24.90 and up, depending on what options you want. Nice knife. I like it. I like the simplicity of this a ton. But anyway, that's it for the video. If you are a follower of this channel, you're probably wondering why I haven't been releasing videos on Fridays like I normally do. October has just been one hell of a month. I've been traveling to a ton of places for work, and then on top of that, being in these different environments made me sick for about a week. And so every time I'm home, I am trying to just get some video done, and that's why you're gonna see a lot of review videos for a while, but only for like maybe a couple more weeks. Then we'll get back to all the mods. In fact, I got some amazing mods happening on the 4Runner soon, so please make sure you stick around for that. If you did enjoy this video though, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also consider supporting us on Patreon so we can continue to make more content like this. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. Want to give a shout out to Odenwolf for sending me the W1 knife. Thank you guys for sending that to me. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time.